This is John Brebbia from the Giants, and I'm back on base.
Welcome back to another episode of the Jim on Base Show. We're here in San Francisco with the great John Brebbia. And John, thanks for coming on again. It's good to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me. I enjoy being back.
Yeah, and it's been fun watching you this year. You were became one of the main bullpen guys or the featured starter. So I know you're kind of a laid-back, loose guy. So it doesn't seem like it's changed your preparation. You're still laughing and smiling before games, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm my best pitcher when I'm not super angry all the time. So I try not to be, and my prep's a little different because it's at different times of the day. But other than that, it's all the same routine.
Well, it's been fun seeing you, especially when Kapler takes you out of the game. I've noticed you kind of say something funny. You're always smiles. A lot of guys are intense. So does it ever throw Kapler off, or do you think of something funny to say? Or?
That's a good question. I don't know. He always seems to keep his cool. I'd like to get him off a little bit, but I don't know if I have yet.
Yeah, I saw you said something the other day, and you kind of looked back and did a half smile, like you got him.
Yeah, he was being an incredibly supportive manager, doing all the things that he should be doing, and I was not being a good player being taken out of the game. So that I could see that getting a little look. Yeah.
Well, it's also, I've been keeping an eye when you come out and then the umpire kind of checks your hands, glove and stuff. You're always making small talk. So they must like that because a lot of guys look intense in those moments. You're kind of all smiles.
Yeah, and I'm sure everyone's different. I'm sure every scenario is different. But I've also noticed that umpires are fine with chatter too. Plenty of times they'll say something to me and I have no problem responding back. So it's nice. And we see these guys all the time. Umpires can control the game to a certain extent, big time. So it's fun to be able to interact a little bit. I don't get to stand in the box and chirp at the home plate umpire, so it's nice to be able to see him every now and then when I come out.
And I guess, like you said, it's good to have them on their good side, I guess.
I mean, I'll always take that, yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, over the last few years, they put the bullpen out in the outfield, and it's kind of like two different dugouts, right? So I was just curious, when you're out there having a good time, you got some good characters out there, right? Then you come out of the game and go to this dugout. Is there a little bit of a different vibe, or what's that like when you're in two different areas?
Man, the bullpen and the dugout are very different, right? The bullpen is just it's a bunch of us hanging. We have to stay prepared for the game, but we also can't be over anxious or over hyped up or anything like that, because a lot of times, we saw Logan Webb last night go 9 innings. That's 2.5 hours of us being anxious and worried and not having to play. That can be bad for performance. So you almost have to stay loose a little bit, make sure you're not, you're focusing on the game, you're watching the game, you're paying attention to the situation, but at the same time, you're not expending mental energy just yet. You want to time that right. And the dugout's a little bit different because it's a lot of coaching staff where they're expending mental energy from the time they get here, this, part of their job, and physical energy as well. So they're always just hammer locked in, ready to go. And there's a lot fewer players in here, and the ones that are they're taking swings in the cages, or guys coming in off the field, resting, trying to stay focused for going back out there. So it's just two very different dynamics for kind of the same goal, which is playing as best as you can and winning.
Well, it makes sense. It's kind of like crossing the finish line then of a race, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, you can just kind of let it breathe once you get over there.
Well, another thing that I thought was interesting about you that I didn't notice till now is your middle name. How do you pronounce that, and where does it come from?
Yeah, Fullbaum. Yeah, grandmother's maiden name, family name. Haven't heard it really anywhere else outside of family reunions. So yeah, it's a little different, but it's Fullbaum. Okay. Yeah.
And what ethnicity or what lineage does she have? Do you know? Or?
It's a great question. The family's a little bit of everything: English, Irish, Italian, Scandinavian. You name it, it's in there. Well,
this episode's sponsored by Ancestry.com.
Yeah, perfect. Well, then we can hit them all, I think. Yeah.
Well, I know you have kids, so you're still locked in. You got only a handful of games left. Mm-hmm. But what do you kind of look forward to? I know your kids are young, so are you looking forward to just staying home for holidays, or do you guys got any trips planned in the off season? Or
we'll start planning our trips once I get home. That's kind of our thing. Let's not put the cart before the horse here. But it'll be most exciting to just get back and see. I haven't seen my kids in a couple months now, a month and a half. So it's always nice to just get back and give them a hug and be like, oh my gosh, you've changed so much. I can't believe I missed it. So just trying to experience as much as I can with them. And then we'll once we get settled in, once I'm unpacked, we'll figure out hey, let's relax for a long weekend. Let's take a week and do something. And then it's kind of right back into it. I mean, it's not more than a couple of weeks before you're back full-blown schedule in the gym. So, yeah, it's a quick turnaround.
Well, speaking of a schedule, we got you early in the season. You kind of had some stubble going. Now you're full lumberjack. So when do you shave it? I know it goes for the whole season. Do you do it right after the game or the next day? Or
I shave when I'm emotionally capable of getting rid of it. Despite not enjoying how it feels or what I look like, it's remarkably hard to take a razor to it because I've spent this whole year just letting it be. So I'll get back, and it's usually I want to say within a week or so. Sometime in that first week, I'll come to grips with like, it's okay. We'll bring it back next year. It's done its job. It was there for me all year. It didn't fall off, not yet. It'll be about a week, and then I'll eventually I'll be over it, and I'll get rid of it, and I'll feel a lot better.
We'll have to see if the kids recognize you, right?
Yeah, that's going to be a tricky part. With a 4 and a just about 2-year-old, they'll probably have to be in there with me for a good chunk of it, seeing the transformation.
Well, when you are outside the stadium, anyone who has a beard or any type of facial hair, it makes it easier for comments, people recognize or notice it. So do you feel you get recognized as a Giants player more with it or without it?
Definitely with. That's as the season goes on. I'll get mistaken for everyone except myself in the beginning of the year, and then like right around the All-Star break or so, that's when it becomes like, oh, that one's Brebbia for the most part. Although Ryan Walker and I were a comp right around the All-Star break for a little while, close enough. That's fine. Yeah. A little different color, I think, but still close enough. But yeah, it's definitely towards the end of the season. It's more discernible.
Well, John, I'll try to recognize you if I see you in spring training next year. But thanks for coming on throughout the year. It's been fun watching you have a great year, and hope to see you around next season.
I appreciate it. Hey, I'd love that too. It's been a pleasure.